Although I have some fall raspberries growing, don't be fooled. It's actually been really chilly around here. So for this morning, I wanted to make a breakfast version of comfort food. So I'll be making sourdough bagels and homemade breakfast sausages that my kids and my husband absolutely love. So I'm gonna start with running out to the herb garden to cut down some sage. The sage is really important for the breakfast sausages. It gives it that breakfast sausage taste. I don't even know how to describe it, but without the sage, it's completely not the same. So I love using fresh sage, not dry sage, but if all you have on hand is dry sage, that'll work as well. In my most recent video before this, I announced that I am working on getting my blog set up and running, and I'm really excited about that because on my blog you'll find a collection of all my favorite recipes that I share on YouTube, and I'll have a variety of recipes ready for you to use. They're going to range from cooking everything from scratch to quick recipes when you just don't have time to cook dinner. For a while now, my dream has been to own a wood stove and oven. And so this week, my husband was able to find one for me on Marketplace. So we picked that up and we're working on getting that all set up in the sunroom, which we're currently converting into a kitchen. I really love and enjoy vintage things, antique things. So for me to have a wooden stove, it's literally like a dream come true. I was so happy when my husband found one in our state. The only other ones that we were able to find were in states where we would have to drive hours just to pick that up. So I felt so blessed and so happy when my husband found one that was only an hour and 20 minutes away from us. So of course, right away, we went and picked that up. And right now we're working on cleaning it up. It's a combination of wrought iron, spelled W-R-O-U-G-H-T, and cast iron. So the whole top of the oven is cast iron. So we removed that and my husband is cleaning that off for me. And I really cannot wait to get that installed. I will be able to use the stove to cook and bake. So I'm really excited to try that out because I've never had a wood stove before, nor have I ever used one in my life. So this is going to be a learning moment for me. And I'll be sure to share all of that with you once my oven is installed and ready for use. What I really love about my bagel recipe is that I use the same exact recipe as if I was just making sourdough bread. So I do the same process, and then in the morning, instead of baking the bread, I form it into bagels. And once my blog is set up, I'll be sure to have my recipe up there. I think you guys would really enjoy this. It turned out even better than I expected. This was my first time making bagels. My sister actually taught me this recipe. So what I really loved is the flavor and also the fact that the outside of the bagel was crunchy and the inside was very soft and a little bit of chewiness. And it just turned out perfect, and I will definitely be saving this recipe as a family favorite breakfast. For breakfast, I always try to make it filling, and I try to keep it nutritious and tasty. And I always put a lot of effort and thought into breakfast just because my family truly enjoys breakfast. We love our slow mornings. Our kids are homeschooled. My husband works from home. So we really enjoy this time in the mornings when we can just sit down with our coffee and have breakfast together with our kids before we begin our day. I don't know why we don't care too much for lunch and we kind of skip it altogether most days. We just kind of are full on our filling breakfast that we have in the mornings. So in our family, dinner and breakfast are our two favorite family meal times. These breakfast sausages are the perfect combination of sweet and salty. I like to shape my sausages into patty shapes, but it's definitely up to you, whatever your preference is. You could easily shape these into the sausage links. That also works great, but we just prefer it this way. With our backyard chickens laying a really good amount of eggs daily, We love to have eggs with our breakfast pretty much every day. A lot of the holes just ended up closing up in the bagels. I do have a new method that I use now that I have baked these several times. So I'll share that a little bit later with you. But regardless, these ones turned out perfect. It's just that they didn't have that deep hole in the middle like a traditional bagel would. So making them into patties like this, you can easily make breakfast sandwiches. Mine turned out pretty plump, so you could also just slice them in half to make them thinner if you don't want to take big bites.
Is that good?
Another great way to enjoy bagels is we split them in half, put cream cheese, and then add on strawberry jam, but you can use any flavor that you prefer of jam. And this is just so good. It's like a little breakfast dessert. Once again, thank you so much for watching my videos, and I can't wait to get my blog up and running so that you can easily find any recipes that I've shared, and hopefully they will be a blessing to your family as they have been to mine.